A bit of a soul. So today I want to do a little, take a little bit of time to talk about the soul wounds that really affects our vitality. And the reason why I really wanted to do this is because I've been contemplating on myself too. Like sometimes I feel really drained. And as you know, I work with a lot of people. I see a lot of clients, and it's easy to, when we take those archetypes of being the one to help others, to really have a lot of energy transference. So I wanted to do this for those that are wondering, like, do I feel tired? Why do I feel tired? Why don't I feel alive? And really help you guys really deep. So this can be a little triggering, but I think this is going to be an interesting conversation so that you can contemplate and reflect on your life. If you're feeling like there is no vitality, like there is no, vitality in the way that I feel alive, I feel strong, I feel like I can have fun, I feel that I can go out, I can go to the park, I can go to the beach, I can go for a walk on the mountains, besides just working, sleeping, and eating. So if you have any of those issues, I really want you to really come into this space and really be part of this energy right now so that you can receive with an open heart, because I'm not here to trigger you just for the sake of triggering you with the things that are going to come up. I really want you to come from an open heart and to really analyze what is there for you. So vitality, when we have a lot of things that take our energy, vampires, people, things that are taking our energy, whether it is consciously, unconsciously, or that we are giving our energy, whether we're doing it consciously or consciously. And sometimes it's not so consciously. So once we make it conscious today with what we're going to be talking about, you start the healing process to release those things that are taking your energy. Sometimes there are people that take energy away, and sometimes they know that they're doing it. Sometimes they don't know that they're doing it. And the reason why some people take our energy away is because sometimes we are supposed to be done in that relationship. They taught us what we needed to learn and we need to move on. Or I taught them what they needed to learn and I need to move on. So perhaps we're staying in relationships, whether it is even with family relationships, where we overstay and we didn't know it's time to retrieve a little bit. So when we stay in relationships that are no longer for our highest benefit, we are going to start feeling drained. Or when we stay in projects, works, friendships, whatever it may be, a place, a house, a business, a partnership, business partnership, when we overstay, we are going to really feel drained. Or when we understay, under meaning we left too early, maybe that friendship was supposed to last a little longer, so I feel a certain way because I went too fast over being done with that relationship. Or I gave up too early with this project, I gave up too early with this business. So let's go over some of the things and how we can find them in the tarot. I pull my very old tarot cards. I haven't used them for so long. So let's see. And we're not going to do tarot, but I want to use some of the cards to help you understand how to pull this when you're doing tarot for yourself and other people. So the first one that I want to start with, because I think is the one that sometimes we don't even think about, and is the energy of the Justice card. Where is it? I pull it up, the Justice card. So this card, the Justice card, has the energy of, like here we have this person with the sword. You see the sword right here, with the sword and the balance in one hand and the sword in another hand, looking up. And this person is seeking balance, but the back of that is dealing with, when we really start tapping into this energy of balance and the sword, and what this energy of justice represent is ancestral wounds that deal with betrayal. So there is a lot of guilt here, a lot of guilt that I may be consciously or unconsciously betraying my ancestors at a very deep soul level. So my energy may be leaving me because I feel like I'm betraying the family line. I'm betraying whether it is the feminine or the masculine energy within me or both. So I may be blaming others or myself and feeling resentful towards myself and others because of things that happened to my ancestors, and I want vengeance. So the justice and the balance here is seeking balance. So I want vengeance for what was done to my ancestor. And I can tell you that sometimes this is very unconsciously done because we consciously don't go around looking to see who we're going to hurt to make things right. So think about our ancestors. What did they went through? Your own ancestors, what did they went through 100 years, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, 700 years ago? What happened to them that you may be unconsciously seeking vengeance for them? Sometimes it is the feminine archetype that you take the most. Sometimes it's the masculine archetype that you take the most. And with the archetype that you take the most in the family line, you are unconsciously looking for vengeance. So if you're the feminine archetype that was abused, that was used, that was taken for granted, you might be the one in this life that is like, I'm going to take vengeance in the masculine and they will never hurt me again. They're never going to hurt us. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to make sure that I'm the one that leaves first any relationships before they can, when they're really falling in love with me, I'm going to leave them because that's the way I'm going to get my vengeance. And this is done very unconsciously. So the justice is really looking for this balance with the sword and the balance, the scale. And it's about karmic balance. This is karmic balance. This is making things right for the family line, for the ancestral line. And as you know, through epigenetics, even in science, we know that the genes, the emotions, that the traumas that the soul of our parents and grandparents experience, and great grandparents, is passed down from generation to generation. So really contemplate, what do I do that sometimes feels like I am feeling guilty, or like I'm blaming others, or like I want vengeance against something, but I don't even know what it is. And that will be the energy of guilt, resentment, and blame with the justice card. So let's move on to the next one. I want to talk about let's talk about the energy of another one that I really tap into a lot is the Hermit energy. My father is very he's like that, like even his name it symbolizes hermit. So he grew up in the mountains. He loves being up in the mountains by himself. He just loves that. So the energy of the hermit is a vampire. It's an energy vampire because you really need to remove yourself because you take on so much of the emotions of others. You're carrying the pain and the suffering, or either the feminine or the masculine lineage of your family life, like the ancestral trauma that have to deal with carrying pain. So again, going back to ancestral traumas, like the ones that were slaves and they had to carry so much weight on them. They had to carry heavy things. They had to receive the beatings. And when you tap into that energy, it's so painful. It just wants to make me cry because I can feel it. And I have been doing a lot of ancestral healing, and every time I tap into that energy, my heart breaks. So I tend to also have a little bit of the Hermit within me, or a lot, and I carry those heavy emotions and pain and the suffering for either the masculine and the feminine. And sometimes you can flip between them. Like you could go from masculine pain to feminine pain, or both at the same time, and it can get it can really take so much energy. because we are not living our lives, we are living the lives of other people. We may be redoing, or we may be an ancestor that is working on the traumas that they had before, plus all the family line. So now we have so much pain and suffering that we have to feel releasing from our energy field, because it feels so much. So there might be a lot of pity here. Poor me, poor them, poor, like poor my grandma, poor my father, my mother, that they had to experience this, my brother, my sister, whoever is in your immediate family. Even if you are adopted, you can take on that because you decided to become part of this family now. So it doesn't even have to be blood related. Even a friend that you really connect with, and you can feel and really feel like pity, whether it is for yourself or other, you're going to be reuniting the hermit within you. And where is the hermit? The hermit here. The hermit is just really seeking, is hunting, is seeking for inner knowing, understanding of why do I do this. It's soul searching. And you see the lamp here, how bright it is. It has so much, but it recluses because there is so much suffering there. So these people really they might go into over isolation because it's too painful to be around other. The pain intensifies when I see somebody hurting. So I might leave people and experiences because it's too painful for me. And it just opens up that wound, and really it just feels like this is too much. I cannot deal with this. When we're looking at it from the soul wounds, we're not looking at it as the traditional hermit energy that is like, oh, we're going to be going soul searching, we have to go into meditation. This is like overdoing it because I feel pity for myself and others. So there is the energy vampire here is the energy of pity. So when you recluse because it's too painful, you really are tapping into that energy of like, oh, this is way too much for me. So I want you to contemplate, are you getting in the lives, or like, are you taking other people's problem? And that's why you feel so heavy all the time. Like, I used to do this with my clients at the beginning because I wanted to help them so much. So I will take on their emotions to clear some of that. And I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. Everybody needs to do their work. So if you're getting in the lives of other, if you're getting into their business, their relationships, if you're trying to rescue them from their pain, you might be really overdoing it. So you need to let them experience what they need to experience, and you need to take care of yourself. That's the main thing here. So let's see. When we go into the next one with let's go over the resistance. Resistance is a big one because sometimes I see so many people, so many clients, so many friends and family members that are really resistant to change. And this can come, I look at it from two cards here. This one and the Wheel of Fortune. And the reason why is because, when we are resistant to change, and we have the energy here of then being able to have peace with our collective consciousness with this card here, and we're really having that connection, even with the wheel, and everything is there, the elements, the people, the collective consciousness. We have this openness to, can I be part of this? And there is a part of you that says no, unconsciously or consciously, no, I don't want this change. There is like you can even feel it in your bones, like, oh no, change. Oh no. And this resistance is not just for change. Obviously, that's the biggest one there. But another one is the possibilities, the transformation, the ability that you cannot receive help, you cannot ask for help. So you might be, and you can have more than one issue here when it comes to the vampire energy of this cards that we're talking about and the archetypes, you could be resistant to change because you don't want other people to help you, or because you have to be the only one in control. But the control comes with the next one, with the strength card. This one is more like everything is fine the way it is. Don't move anything. Don't do anything. Everything is okay. Don't do anything unless it has to be done. And when it's done, there is so much resistance that it feels chaotic, like the tower card. And it just feels like, oh my God, everything is collapsing. Why is this happening? And there is so much fear here. Fear of, that's my little dog. Fear of, oh my God, he disconcentrated me. Fear of, it's just like resistant that these people might even have eye problems because they cannot see near or far, and it's like, oh no, they only focus maybe on the tiny things, because the bigger picture and the transformation that comes with letting go of resistance is way too much. It may feel like everything is collapsing and I don't know what to do, and they have a benefit. You need to ask yourself, what is the benefit that I get by not allowing change to happen in my life, by not allowing these possibilities, this transformation, for not allowing people to help me? What do I get out of that? Because that's where the key is, and it's going to be different for everybody. So I think these people probably have a lot of eye issues because they cannot allow the perception to open up. So when you have your perception able to see ahead, you really see the grace in the change. But you cannot do that because you're so focused on this cannot happen that you don't let other things happen. So they are very, 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 very afraid of failure. If I let this happen, everything is going to collapse. Everything can collapse. And then what do I do? So they might have a lot of ancestral trauma that basically they have to be where their ancestors were in regards to the biggest thing that they have to work through, whether it is money, love, relationships. They will not go above what the ancestors did before. So if the ancestors felt pain, they're going to feel pain because they cannot be happy. If the ancestors made $1 million, they cannot go over $1 million because they cannot be more than the ancestors. So there is a lot of fear here of failure. If I go over what my ancestors did, I can fail, and that's not allowed. So that is the Wheel of Fortune, or the World card, and you can really tap into those energies to really feel like, when I open up myself to this collective consciousness, to being part of this reality and being part of everything and everyone, what is the worst thing that can happen? And when you think about the projects that you have, the relationships, the partnerships, and so on, am I being honest with myself? Am I afraid to fail? Okay, so that would be that one. Okay, we did that one. Let's do the strength card. We did that one. I need to do this one. Okay, so the strength card, with the lion and everything, and she's really like even putting her mouth underneath the lion, and she has flowers, and she has this she's just like really in tune with this energy of strength within this connection, right? So when we think about this, the energy of the lion, and they're ferocious, they're like, yeah, when they're getting ready to like gather praise, and they're hunting their praise, it's like, whoa, right? Like there is a lot of, in that moment, there is a lot of anger, there is a lot of rage. So these people are going to have the people that have the soul wounds identified with the strength, with the energy of being mad, upset, angry, rage, like they're enraged. They identify with that energy even sometimes before they're born, because they chose a family where all of these things that happened to them was going to come to the point of, I have to be upset because I cannot believe this is happening to me. But they already sometimes predetermined that by coming into a family that they wanted to save. I need to save my parents because they have all these issues. But in the process of that, there is a lot of anger and rage, and they use the anger and rage to hurt and control others, especially if they feel invaded, like if they feel their space is invaded or they feel out of control, they're gonna go into that archetype of the rage and the feeling invaded. So they're gonna want to control situations and people in order for them to feel in control, and they use rage, anger to hurt others with the things that they say and do. But once they start the healing journey, they're going to really turn that around, and the anger becomes a positive thing because they use it to feel empowered. So when you start using rage to feel empowered, we all have rage, we all have anger. When we start using it for the positive, it's because we're using that to ignite our fire, which is different than using that hurt, the pain and the suffering and the rage and anger to hurt others with the things that we say. So we might have a lot of poison in our mouth that we're always feeling, things how we act with, especially with parents and siblings too, or like friends, people that you feel like you can get away with it, because normally when we have these problems, we don't do it with people that we don't really know. It's normally we do it to people that we love. So the issues here is when these people feel invaded personally, at a space or emotionally invaded, mentally invaded, these people are going to turn into rage and anger. So they feel out of control, they have to get back to control, and they're going to attack. Once you start healing that energy of like, I have to defend myself, it's more like, I'm going to use this energy now to feel the power within me and to ignite my fire, my solar plexus, so that I can get the things done that I want to get done. So when we have this archetype of anger, and we're always angry with life, angry that this happened, we're always angry for the collective, like how can this happen to people, and we identify with the anger, that means we need to start working on releasing that and being honest with ourselves. What do I need to do to not hurt myself and others? These people are going to have a lot of skin issues derived from the anger, because the anger has to come out of the energetic field somehow. And when it's coming out, it's going to come through the skin. So they might have psoriasis, they might have even skin cancer, they might have acne, they might have issues with the skin. They might have, like different issues, dermatology issues, because the anger and the rage is coming out. If you don't express it in a healthy way, it's going to come out, and it's going to have to come out, and it's going to come out through the skin. So these people that have the archetype of the strength, the archetype of feeling like, I have to be angry with everything and everyone, this is all in injustice, how can this happen to the collective, how can this happen to the animals, how can this happen to people, how can this happen to me? That means that you really need to start working on releasing and being honest with yourself, and releasing what is it that makes you angry about life, and start working on that, because there is so much, it's like a bomb inside of you, and you need to start working on releasing that energy of that energetic bomb, because it's going to break you if you don't start working on this. Eventually it catches up to the point that it drains you, to the point that you feel like you have no life. So you want to really start working on what makes me angry, what makes me explosive, and start working on releasing those things. Now, another one will be the one that some of us may not ever identify with consciously, because we don't even know it's there, is the energy of, let me finish with is the energy of the Hekman. The Hekman, which is card number 12 in the tarot. It's this energy of illuminated. He's illuminated. Like you can see here that he's illuminated, and he's turned upside down, and he's seeking a new perspective in life. He's trying to understand things that he couldn't understand before and couldn't even perceive before. So these people that have this archetype of the soul wounds, the energy vampires, through the Hekman, are going to have the archetype of, I couldn't see before, and now I'm looking to understand why do I feel this way? Why do I let my energy leave me? And normally these people are going to have, because the Hangman is seeking, is already getting the wisdom, is seeking the wisdom, is already releasing. So before that release, the person feels like a victim. Before that release, the person might even feel, like even when we turn it this way, it's like the person is coming out of previously perceptions, and that perception normally has to do with the soul wound of really feeling like a victim. We're doing the victim triangle here, and we have done it previously, but I want you to understand, like, we have the rescuer with the victim, the perpetrator. We started with the perpetrator because the perpetrator is that, not only recently with the strength card, the strength card is a perpetrator because it's always looking for fault in others. The perpetrator energy, whether it is through the justice card, the strength card, and so on, is looking for putting blames in other. I'm going to attack you because you. So with this card is the victim card. The victim card that says, I feel like a victim, I need to be rescued. And these people may have a lot of issues with even taking it back to the birth, the womb regression. When we do womb regression, we see a lot of this in womb regression, because in the womb regression, we see a lot of people that normally have a lot of parent issues. And normally people go to the womb when there is a lot of parental traumas that they need to be worked through. So this is not necessarily ancestral trauma. This one is more parents' trauma, where they had a traumatic experience with either parent, and they might feel abandoned. They might feel like rejected. They didn't take care of me. They didn't love me. They didn't accept me. So these people are going to have a lot of issues with feeling like they belong, feeling like I'm accepted for who I am. So if you have any traumas of, do I feel like safe in my body? Maybe you had issues because your parents thought that you were going to be female or male, or maybe you had issues because you were born and you were given to another person, or one of the parents left the family because of divorce, or whatever it may be. Maybe it was maybe it was through, you were conceived through not so great situations, and you feel like my parents didn't choose me. But you need to know that at a higher level, source chose you to be here. So you need to start working on accepting yourself. You need to start working on feeling like you belong because you are who you are, feeling confident about being here in life and experiencing life and being part of this greater collective. So this one is a little heavy for sure, because it's even before you were born. You might feel certain ways about coming here. Maybe you didn't want to come, but you were forced to come in a way because you needed to help, and you felt like, okay, I have to go help. So now I'm going to have to leave where I am to go help these people here. So already you might be coming with predetermined feelings of abandonment from other families another time and place to come here to earth, or you may be coming through the canal and you were attacked in the canal by different entities, or maybe your mother had an abortion or miscarriage and there was already an energetic being in the womb that was affecting and taking your energy because of the sadness that it felt because it couldn't be alive. So there is a lot of wounds here that are, like it makes me feel like, oh, like this. That's what it makes me feel like. I have to recluse inward because I don't feel safe around me. Okay, so I think another one, I put these ones together, the death and the devil card. And the reason why I put them together is because these are more mysterious energy vampires, where you might be like really working through things that you don't even know that you're working through. And these people tend to be more spiritual. They are going to have more spiritual tendencies, and they might even be reliving lives or of people, ancestors that die without being recognized as being part of the family. So, and with that also energies that didn't have a human body. So these people might be giving their energy consciously or unconsciously to disembodied energies that are no longer in the family line, that were not recognized, or disembodied energies that are taking energy from them through different obsessions, different fears and insecurities, vices, so temptations. So you really want to analyze, contemplate, what makes me feel tired, what makes me feel like, am I doing rituals that may be compromising my energy? Am I when I tap into the ancestors, do I feel a lot of sadness, a lot of betrayal, a lot of no failure, a lot of betrayal in terms of I was not recognized as being part of the family. So these people may have been, people in the past who dealt with, I don't know why the people that are now, we know that we have people that, and I have a lot of friends that are lesbian or gay, whatever, but before they were not recognized. So once you said that you were so and so, you were pushed away from the family and you were not allowed to do that, right? Or people that committed crimes that then they were not longer recognizable in the family, or they were orphans or whatever. These people are disembodied, so they're no longer living in their ancestors, and they wanted to, I'm sorry, I think there is a something going. What is that, a plane? Or no, that's something else. Anyways, so I hope you can hear me okay. So anyways, these people are feeling a certain way, and they are looking to those that are disembodied in the family to recognize them unconsciously or consciously. But the thing is that they're living the life of those that were not, that are no longer alive. So they might be overly obsessive with rituals and things that is compromising their energy. There is a fine balance between being spiritual, religious, and really going a little obsessive. Okay, so we really have to pay attention to, like, are we living, are we experiencing life, or are we spending hours and hours and hours on end doing rituals and doing things? Because these people tend to be very spiritual or religious, or a combination of those, and they might overdo it. They might become very, very obsessive, and a lot of the energies that may be coming are not necessarily for their highest good. So their energy is being drained. They might be tricked sometimes. That is very easy because they get so obsessive that these people remind me of definitely a lot of people in different practices, because sometimes we go between overly obsessive to balance, to overly obsessive to balance, to overly obsessive. So I want you to contemplate on that. Am I doing too much? Am I seeking something? And what is it that I'm seeking by doing X, Y, and Z? So that will be the question for you. And another one that, where's this one? I put it with the temperance, I put with the judgment card, because here we have a fine balance between the two. I see the judgment card as, like moving away from the past, like renewal. The temperance is inspirational, it's giving energy back and forward. And it's just, like both of them give me that feeling of renewal, inspiration, feeling alive, feeling like new beginnings are coming. But the vampire here is that just like the judgment is reviving, and the temperance is bringing in that new energy, new purpose. These people tend to be healers, and when we overly identify with a healer, we want to rescue people. And when we want to rescue people, we don't let them get to the point where they know that they can heal themselves. So we take away. We rescue too fast. We don't show them the way. We do it for them. And we take their power away. So the fine balance for a healer is to know how to guide someone without overdoing it and waiting to be asked for help. Can you help me? It's different than I'm just going to do it for you because you don't know how you're going to do this and I know how you're going to do it. So the fine balance here is, can you just respect other people's journey? Point them when they ask you, but don't show unless you gotta respect other people's boundaries. You have to respect yourself as well, because sometimes you put yourself in the line and that takes obviously your energy away. But the more that you do work on yourself, the more you start backing back and you're just pointing people in the right direction, being an inspiration for them because you're doing your own work. But you don't go and say, you don't know this is the answer because you don't know how to do that. You're never going to get that answer. Or, you know what, I'm just going to help you do this because you are never going to be able to do it. It's going to take you too long to do it. So the fine balance here is, being a healer is showing other people that they can heal themselves. And yes, sometimes we have tools and things that we know because we're a little more advanced in the spiritual side of things for whatever reason. But I really believe that we are here to help others wake up to the ability, to the fact that they have the ability to heal within themselves. So when we do that, we start respecting their journey and how they're going to get there. And we wait for people to ask us to help them. We don't just jump in. So I think I'm going to leave it here for now. There is so much that we can go over, but I wanted to start here. I think another shadow of the vampires here is also the energy of the fool. Sometimes we can have multiple of these wounds and we become, it's almost like blending back and forth between many of these archetypes, and we can become overly confident or not confident. And I think this energy comes with the fool. Do I trust in the universe or don't trust? Can I trust that my intuition is right or not trust my intuition? So there is this back and forth between being the wise energy of the fool, trusting in the source of everything, or if I jump, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make a mess again. So you have this fine balance right in the middle. And sometimes the energy that can best represent that is the energy of the fool, because with the fool, we have someone that is just, like flowing through life right on the edge of a cliff. And you have to trust that what comes next is meant to come next. But sometimes we don't trust that what comes next is meant to come next. And we don't see until we look backward wow, if that wouldn't happen, that had happened, I wouldn't have, and I wouldn't be here now. So can I trust the universe to guide me? Can I trust my inner higher spirit to guide me and show me the way? I'm gonna leave it here for now. I want to thank you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure that you please like and subscribe, because I need to definitely get going with that. All right, thank you.